Okay, so today is Sunday, 22nd of June 2025 at 11 a.m. Temperature already at 30 degrees centigrade, 86 Fahrenheit, and it'll get several degrees hotter as the day goes on. In my previous video I described how I wanted to turn my pond into my version of a self-sustaining MEDAKA pond, which means keeping a large number of MEDAKA which can be sustained by the natural carrying capacity of the pond. I mean, that is, for example, the MEDAKA population that can breed naturally and be supported by the natural food sources generated by a pond of this size. And my estimate, which may be right, may be wrong, don't know, is that it should be able to keep 250 MEDAKA in a pond of this size, which is about 1,000 litres. Now, the conventional view would be to have a heavily planted pond. However, as a somewhat elderly person, I'm not able to keep up with the sort of maintenance that's required for keeping a pond like that in good condition, or a pond this small in good condition. So for natural breeding, to maintain a balanced population of MEDAKA in this sort of sparsely planted pond, I think I definitely need to provide refuges or shelters for the fry to hide away from predation by the adult fish. So I think fry usually like to stay in shallower water, so I'm going to make a fry refuge area on the shelf at the back of the pond here, which is away from any flow coming from the filters. The shelf goes all the way along the back of the pond, but that corner is probably just about right. And it really only needs sort of any sort of structure or material that's going to provide hiding places for the fry away from the adults. So I mean, for example, I've lashed up this bits of old pipe I've cut off, and nicely glued them together, just put some zip ties around, but that's fine. And then I have a whole lot of old ceramic rings I've sort of tied up in bits of netting, and then I can sort of stack those on top of that shelf for fry to hide in. We should get some good biofilm building up on those ceramic rings as well, so that'll provide some food for the fry. And what I'll do, let me get this, I'll just sort of fix some bits of Anacharis on there, and some Java moss, tuck it in so all that grows around on these areas for the fry to hide. I've got some jackfruit leaves. I've just picked these off the tree. I'm going to tie them up in a bit of netting like that when I've dried the leaves off, and those will provide not only a place for the fry to hide, but also the biofilm grows very fast on organic material, like these leaves once they've been dried. And again, you know, that would provide good first fry food. Now these are jackfruit leaves. I've got a tree in the garden. Don't have to worry about pesticides or anything. I think the gold standard are Indian almond leaves, or katapa, I think they're called. They're the gold standard for submerging dried leaves in ponds and aquariums. But these jackfruit leaves are almost as good. And I don't have katapa leaves. I can just go and pick these off my tree. I also have mango leaves. They're not quite as good, but I could use those if I ever needed to. And also I'd probably put some more this anacharis around in the area over there to provide places for the fry to hide. Then I've got sort of floating plants I can push over there, which will provide places for females to deposit eggs on the roots. I might even put some of the normal sort of artificial spawning mops over there as well, just to encourage females to lay their eggs over there. And so that, as I say, will be about where the fry refuge area is going to be. Whether it'll work or not, I've got no idea, but that's my plan. And finally, I've made this floating fry refuse container. It's an IKEA waste basket, waste bin. Drilled lots of holes in, most of the holes around the top because it's very tedious doing it, and fries stay in shallow areas, so most of the holes are in this sort of shallow area where the fry might congregate. I've zip tied some closed cell foam from I think it was a child's play mat or something to make it float, so it will sort of float at about that level. The holes are 4 mm. I'm only guessing about this. The holes are 4 mm. An adult MEDAKA's body diameter is about 6 mm. So that should keep the fry reasonably safe in there. And if they grow to juveniles, they can swim out when they're ready. So I'll sort of put it all in there and see what it looks like. So, okay, it's not at all exciting, and I think even though I've still got all my teeth, I think I keep saying refuse area instead of refuge area. I think everybody knows what I mean. But here it is, mostly set up, just over in that corner. Some of the MEDAKA in my tubs still producing lots of eggs, even though we're getting close to the high summer temperatures. I've left spawning mops in the tubs for a week to collect eggs, and I've now put those spawning mops in this floating fry refuge container to hatch. Hopefully that will give a good start to increasing the pond's MEDAKA population. Okay.